Hi, I'm Annemaike, and in this video I will be talking about the INFJ archetype, or the Paladin. And of course I could talk about it in this very theoretical third-person way, but I think it would be a lot more interesting if I shared my personal experience as an INFJ, like my personal reflections about myself, because I am an INFJ. Like, I forgot to say that. But that's why I'm making this video, because I think that by sharing my personal experience as an INFJ, I hope that I can help you reach more understanding about yourself if you are an INFJ, or maybe help you understand other people better around you. And in my previous video, I was talking about Jungian analytical psychology and MBTI, and I was giving a kind of introduction to this whole topic. So if right now you feel like, what the heck is she talking about? Then I would definitely recommend you to look into that. I will put it up there. I hope that's the right direction I'm pointing at. And in general, if you are interested in this topic of MBTI and Jungian analytical psychology, I highly recommend looking into the C.S. Joseph channel. I will also put a link to his channel in the description again, so you can look into that. So like I said, this video is going to be about the INFJ. INFJ is the MBTI name, and there's also a corresponding archetype name, which is the Paladin. And what does a Paladin mean as the archetype? It means a warrior with a cause. So like a spiritual warrior that is fighting for something that he or she believes in. That's like the basic explanation of the underlying archetype. So in this video, I want to provide some reflections about myself, about my own behavior and personality, with the background knowledge of knowing that I am an INFJ, and make it a bit more concrete and give examples, because I think that will help you to understand this archetype better. And I'm just using the word archetype and personality type the whole time, both of these words, because they refer to the same thing. And like what I'm going to say in this video is never going to be complete, because like understanding a human being is very complex. But I just want to provide some examples of my weak and strong points and my reflections on that. And I would love to make some more videos in the future about particular other subjects within my archetype. So let's start with what I feel is the most typical about me, and that is my enormous amount of willpower. Like, if I feel like I want something, like, I'm just going right after it, you know, like the eyes on the target, and like whatever obstacle is in the way, that's just nothing to me. Like, I always have these things that I really want. And I have a concrete example of how that played a part in my life. And that was quite a while ago, but when I was getting my high school diploma, I was homeschooled, and I was not doing much schoolwork before I was 15. But when I was 15, I decided that I wanted to get my high school diploma. And after that, I made that decision. I got it within 1.5 years, and I got it really well. I didn't have to put that much effort or time into it. And just because I decided that I wanted to do that, yeah, I did. And in really much less time than other people who are in school would take for that. So I really feel like in that situation, I was really driven by my willpower to like make that happen, get my diploma. So I have a lot of things that I want in life in general. A lot of ideas, things that I would like to do, and a lot of goals. But sometimes it's hard for me to put in the discipline, because willpower and discipline are different things. That's like something fundamental to understand. Because you can want something, like in your mind, you can picture yourself fulfilling this dream that you have, but like the steps in between to get there, that's like the hard part for me. Like obstacles, they can be easy, it kind of depends, but it's mostly the patience that one needs to reach long-term goals or whatever. Like for example, if I well, this is a concrete example. I was having violin lessons when I was younger, and I did that for half a year or something, and I really had this inspiration to go for that because I went to a concert and it really touched my heart, and I was like, I want to play this instrument. And I was listening to all this violin music and I was like, wow, I want to do that as well. And my violin teacher, she was really impressed by the kind of progress I was making in a short time. And again, that was, I think, because I had this willpower to learn the violin, with like all my heart, with all my passion. So she said I was looking like a very promising student. But the thing is with violin, that it's an instrument that takes a lot of discipline, and you need a lot of time practicing before you're going to get any like interesting results. And for me, I just didn't have the patience to go through that process until I really was happy with the results. So I stopped after half a year, and like that's an example of how struggling with the discipline has kind of limited me in what I wanted to accomplish. So while an INFJ has this really strong willpower, that's like their number one quality, that's like default for them. Actually having the discipline to see things through, to reach goals, is kind of a lot harder. And this topic of discipline, that's a thing in general. Also discipline in terms of taking good care of yourself, that's also quite hard for INFJs in general. Although for me, not so much, because I consciously work on like doing the things that are good for my body. Like I try to eat well, and I have regular sleeping times, these kind of things, because I know that it would be a weak point for me, that I find it hard to put attention into that. So other INFJs might not take that well care of themselves. So let's move on to the next thing, and I want to start with something that's not so happy compared to this last subject, because I have social anxiety. And while that definitely has to do with my childhood and the struggles that I was having in school, etc., and my chronic depression, there's also like a typology or Jungian analytical psychology explanation of how this is fitting to my personality type. Because INFJs have performance anxiety. Like they want so badly to do something perfectly, to give other people a good experience, and deliver perfect results, and that also counts for social interactions. While for other people, you would never think of social interactions as a performance. For INFJs, at least for me, it does feel that way, because I'm always thinking very deeply about how I want to initiate a conversation, how I want to continue a conversation, and I feel very responsible for that. And yeah, I experience social anxiety because I feel like I might not do well enough in this regard. Like, the other side of the coin is that, like, for example, if I am doing a serious performance, like singing in front of a crowd, that's something I have done because I really love singing. But if I go perform in front of a crowd, then at first I feel very nervous and I feel a lot of resistance to go on that stage. But if I like go through that fear and like own it and go on that stage anyway, it just feels so amazing and I feel like so empowered. And yeah, I get a lot of positive feedback from my performance in that way, and it makes me feel really, really good. Also, the same with social interactions. Like, I really enjoy being in groups of people, especially if I am closer to the members of the group. And I also like being in the spotlights in social situations. Like, many people that have social anxiety or that are shy, they will often want to disappear in a corner and that kind of stuff. They like to keep more on the background. But me as an INFJ, actually I really want to be in the foreground of the social happenings. The problem is just that I am afraid to do that. But if I feel enough trust in the people around me and I'm in a good mental place, then I can really be like the entertainer of the group. So that contrast between the social anxiety and like liking to be in the spotlights, that's really interesting about myself, I think, and that really fits with the general thing about INFJs as well. So the next thing I want to talk about is self-worth, because that's also a big topic for INFJs. And the thing with INFJs is that our self-worth is very dependent on our environment. Like, naturally, we don't have a very positive feeling about our own worth. Like, we need other people to show appreciation to us and like tell us that we are valuable people. Otherwise, like, naturally, we believe that we are not that good, or we're not worthy, or similar difficult sounding stuff. So we need that reflection from our environment to have a good feeling about ourselves. But the problem with that is that we become very dependent on like the positive feedback of other people, and that can really become a struggle. That's just part of the INFJ faith, basically, feeling worthless and always needing that external positive feedback to have any kind of good feeling about yourself. And that's just something we have to deal with. But on the other hand, like, how we are very external in this, and that also actually helps us in our communication with other people, because we are very aware of what other people feel and what other people value. And actually, that's a very useful thing in connecting with other people. We're very good at really seeing other people for who they are, and we are very good at tuning in to our environment, and that's a really good social skill to have. Like in another video that I made about being a high sensitive person, I talk about how I can walk into a room and like sense what everybody is feeling and sense the general vibe. Like that's not just a highly sensitive person thing, that's also a thing that really fits with INFJs, and that's one of our biggest qualities, that we can tune in so well into social situations and into other people and into other people's feelings and the vibe of a room, and then by tuning into that we can really contribute something socially. So yeah, that being external can also really help us in that way in our lives. I often have a very clear idea about what I think is going on in a situation, about what is going on in the world. And I like sharing my opinions and ideas about that after like going through that process of understanding something. So just like I'm doing in these videos, especially the ones before, like where I'm working out a subject and I try to fully understand like what's going on within that subject, and I try to bring that across in a video. But the same thing also happens in daily life, where like people would talk about their problems or whatever, and yeah, I try to fully understand what's going on, and I really enjoy giving advice and giving my opinion on things. Of course, I try to not do that too much when people don't ask me, because that has been like a weakness of mine, that I've given my opinion when somebody didn't ask for my help. And I'm kind of trying to find the balance in that. Yeah, like the idea is that INFJs, they are very much in touch with truth and reality. They are very good at taking the essence out of things and understanding what's really going on, and the truth. Yeah, that's something that not everybody wants to hear. Like the truth can make people angry, make people not like you if you speak the truth, especially about other people, about situations that you observe, because people, they want to pretend to make things look better, etc. But yeah, basically it's the purpose of the INFJ to like tell the truth anyway, like share with people what they see and criticize people even. And that really comes from a place of caring, because like I believe that it's very important to be honest and to be in alignment with the truth and with reality, because that's the only way that you can really like work with a situation and pursue authenticity. And sharing that truth is scary, like I said, because not everybody wants to hear that, definitely. So that's something I'm working on, to be like brave enough to share my truth, no matter if people will like it or not, because I care a lot about being liked. That's definitely a thing. But I also care a lot about being authentic and real with people. So that's a journey of mine to work on that, on being more honest. And I recently had a realization that in every situation where I criticize somebody out of caring for them, they have always loved me for it. It's like it makes our bond even stronger. And that feels kind of counterintuitive at first, because you're being mean to someone, basically. But I guess because you're being mean to them out of like really caring for them and wanting the best for them, like people sense that, and they do still appreciate that. And that probably won't always be the case. So in the end, it's important that I do what I think is right, and like not try to be a doormat and please everybody, because that's impossible. And like that became a very long reflection, this last thing about criticizing people. It kind of sounds to me like that could be a whole video subject, perhaps, where I can talk about my experience with that. Who knows what will happen in the future. And I think that's what I want to give you for today, these reflections. And it's definitely very incomplete because it's just too much to put into one video. This is a beginning. And I hope this was useful for you, that it was clear enough to understand what I was trying to say. Please like this video if you liked it. And I would love to hear from you in the comments. Also, if you have questions specifically about like my experience as an INFJ or Paladin, maybe I could use that for a next video, or just answer in the comment section. I would love to have your feedback as well. And please subscribe if you want to see more videos, because I will be making videos every 2 weeks. So if you are subscribed, you can see when the next one will be. And thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye.